Thank you so much for stopping by. Um, I've been a journalist for over 14 years now, and I started off with training on the job, and then some years later I decided to go back to school and study journalism, and that was a great decision I made. I know there are people who have been practicing journalism and have not had a chance to go to a journalism school. They've worked, and through experience they've really mastered the art and they're doing a great job. And I worked for a couple of years, but going to journalism school changed my perspective on what it really means to be a journalist. So if you have an opportunity and you can go to a journalism school, even if you're already working and you're practicing journalism, then I would encourage you to do so. But if you're just okay with what you're doing and where you are, that is also fantastic. I'm not judging. And then I decided that I needed to further my education after graduating from journalism school, and I didn't feel like pursuing journalism further. There was anything I was going to gain outside of the experience and the whatever I had already learned. So I decided maybe I needed another course that would enrich my journalism career and the experience that I have already gathered over the years. And what really advised me to make that decision was my work experience at that time, covering the current affairs across Africa. And it is something that I've grown to love, and I've specialized on that now, current affairs across Africa. So it's something I really love. I love telling the African stories, and so I decided to pick on a course that will help me understand really what some of these things mean, and when covering these stories, and what some of these international things or decisions or whatever means, and so I decided to pursue international relations, and that is the best decision I've ever made as far as my career progression is concerned. My mind changed. My analysis, my thoughts, how I look at these stories, how I cover them, that has completely changed, because what we are taught in journalism is, of course, to be objective. You are the voice of the society. You are a watchdog. You speak for the society and all that, and whatever you say, it has to be true, it can be verified, you have to be factual, objective, and all those things. And if you're taught about the media laws, but within the media parameters, the guardrails of media, and how to operate and how to be a good journalist, and communication skills, and of course editing, and all these things that encompasses journalism. And that's it. International relations, on the other hand, is an interdisciplinary course that draws in these other courses or disciplines that you get to learn. So it's a coming together of these other disciplines. So what now this means is that your mind is really opened, and you have a wider scope and understanding about things. We learn international laws, we learn international security, we learn diplomacy, of course we learn the international system, we learn, name it, conflict resolution, and all these things, microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, and everything. So it's a coming together. You see, it's an interdisciplinary course. So you provided with information that enriches you as a person and as a journalist. So this has been very helpful for me. So after I started attending these classes, how I look at the stories, that totally changed. How I look at the security situations across Africa, that changed. When I hear International Monetary Fund is has these conditions before it gives loans to Kenya, or has given, or whatever. I know what's happening. I know what's behind that. I understand. And of course, a lot of this has to do with international politics, because international relations, really, it's about international politics. And any one of these international institutions or systems, or what is happening out there, much of it has to do with the international politics and how that we see play out in all aspects of how states interact within each other, and you get to fully understand why states behave the way they do in the international system. Okay, so that has been very enriching, and they're different courses, but they blend in so well, and they enrich each other very well. I think, at least for me, as a journalist, that is what international relations has been able to do. And it also offers me an opportunity to pursue other career. Should I decide today I want to pursue a different career, then it offers me that opportunity, backed with my communications, my media experience. It works perfect. And so if you are a journalist and you're thinking of pursuing a different course, and if at all you're interested in current affairs, of course you're a journalist, so you whether you're interested or not, but it's something that you do. But if that is the line of specialization you want to pick, then international relations is something I would commend. If you're covering politics, if you whatever kind of social current affairs that you're covering across in Kenya, regionally, internationally, this will come in handy, because it gives you an extra set of glasses and lenses by which you look at the world, and you analyze these things and you understand these things from a much informed perspective. Journalists are informed. We are taught to be informed. We are taught to have depth. We are taught to love information, and we learn all these things. So unless you're a very lazy journalist, that's why you might not bother to do research, or take your interviews further, or go to sources where you can get the information that you need and all that. And sometimes some of this has to do with time constraint and maybe financial constraints. Maybe your media house is not willing and ready to fund, because a lot of these things are very costly. And that's why you see these cable news channels like Al Jazeera, CNN, they're able to go around the world, cover these stories in depth, because they can afford to hire private planes for their reporters. They can afford to make all these provisions that journalists need to ensure that they produce quality story. They are able to fund that, and they also are able to remunerate their journalists very well. And I do understand that is not the situation across Kenya or across Africa, because a lot of media houses are suffering, so sometimes they're not willing to fund for a story to the depths by which they should, so that something quality can be produced. So sometimes we are hanging on the neck of a journalist, and really there's nothing much they could have done about it. But international relations really is a great addition to journalism. So if you've been thinking, if you're already a journalist and you're thinking of pursuing another course, and you want to enrich what you already have, I think international relations would be a very great addition for what you have already learned in journalism school. And you will thank yourself later, because for me this has been by far the best decision I've made for my career progression, and I love it, and it works, because the things that I get to discuss in class are the things that I probably covered at work, and that is what is happening. If you talk about international security, you get to discuss what is happening in Israel and in the Gaza Strip right now, and you understand. If you're learning about conflict management, yes, you get to discuss this practical thing. So it's not something that is out of this world. These are daily things that we get to cover, and that is happening. So I think that is really, really great. And I think international relations has really taught me how to reason. because you must be a thinker. And that's why they're called scholars. You must be a thinker. You cannot be lazy. As a student of international relations, of course, even as a journalist. But you know, with journalism, there's a set way of looking at things, and there's safeguards within the media course. In the international relations, as long as you putting forth an argument and you can provide that argument with feet to stand on, there's never a right or wrong answer. Just argue your way out and make it make sense. So that provides you now with a latitude by which you're able to just explore in your mind the possibilities, the different scenarios, and why, and that, and that. And so I just love that about the, international relations. It allows you to think. It enables you to, it provides you with a platform to just reason out, to think, to engage your mind, and to go as far as you can, as long as you're making sense and you're able to establish whatever it is, whatever your argument is. Because every now and then we do these academic papers, and it's quite interesting. It's amazing. So you get to read through these great thinkers and authors and all these people, and after that you are required to now maybe criticize what they wrote or whatever it is. So it's a beautiful course. It's great if you're a thinker and if you like a good challenge, a good academic challenge, and something that will just get you out of your comfort zone as a journalist. Then international relations is just one of those courses that you should consider having, even if it's just a diploma. University of Nairobi offers a diploma. I think it's great, and it could be a great addition for you, for your future endeavors and all that. So it's really nice. In case you're wondering what to do next, or you have some little money somewhere and you wanted to go back to school, I would encourage you to study it. If you're a person who loves information, if you're a person who loves world politics, international politics, if you're a person who enjoys having interesting conversations, if you're a person who is open-minded, then this will be a very great course for you to take on, because it does allow you to explore and express yourself, as long as you're making sense and within acceptable limits. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.